Okay, sorry if this is shaky, but I'm trying to hold it. I didn't have anything to prop this up on. So I'm gonna show you guys, based off of Chesterfield's numbers last week, how to fill out this properly and where to find it. Now, if Jerry did not explain to you, you guys have to enter in your budgets under this budget goal section and make sure that you guys are using the one that I believe John sent us, the new GM budget sheet. Now, make sure that it is on the correct month, and then you're gonna start filling out each week so you can just have like a running total at the end and see where you are for the quarter. Your budget sheet should have been handed out to you. If you don't understand how to read it, I'm going to show you where to find your food cost, your paper cost, your labor, and what your cost of goods should be. Now, obviously, everyone's numbers are going to be different. These are just Chesterfield. So these are the numbers for your food on hand. I wouldn't change that because that was already put in there for you. Your paper on hand was put in there already for you. So I didn't change any of that. I plugged in my labor. I plugged in what my paper said should be for budget and what my food said it should be for budget. Now in Clearview, I noticed that none of you have been doing this, so if you have not, you're going to want to do this every single week. Under reports, you're going to go to financial, and you're going to go down to TDL sales reporting. You're going to go to, again, I'm going to show you under Chesterfield, so it's not going to be what some of yours may look like because I send mine every week, but you have to send your TDL sales reporting and you have to submit them. So I'm just going to click show all dates requiring attention, and then once all these come up, you just click submit sales and then hit OK. Now, if an error pops up or you do not have submit sales, you need to call Clearview and they need to fix that for you, because I have noticed that some of you can't even send them because there are days where you have no information added. So call Clearview, get that straightened out because that is very important. Okay, so to start for our adjusted gross, we go to summary. And we're going to change this to weekly. Again, I'm going to do this for Chesterfield and I'm going to do it for last week. Already switched for me. When you print these to turn them in, you want to hit actual deposit so all this drops down. You print this whole sheet and then you print your deduction sheet. That's what gets turned in with your deposit log, with your credit card slips, your TIM card slips if you turn those in, and all your deposit slips. Obviously, if you don't know, you guys should be verifying that all your deposit slips are in, they're all in order, making sure that all your deposits add up to what's on your deposit sheet, making sure that all your credit card slips add up to what they are, and make sure that all your banking information is entered in every single day, because that is very important on where to see like where your cash is. Banking information, some people were confused on how to do this. What I do, what I've always been taught and what I've always done is, since we only have 2 shifts now, obviously we don't have a third to delete, but I go into all my shifts, I make everything zeros. You don't have to do the transaction zeros, that's not an issue. Make everything zeros except for your TIM cards. Make your cash 0, because whatever one you're entering it in on, which is usually shift 1, it should always be shift 1 because that's just what I do. Make all that 0. Shift 1, make these all 0. I enter everything, like my credit cards, what those totaled out to be the day before, under my Visa. I didn't delete my TIM cards because this TIM card total and my shift 2 TIM card total is what I add together to put on my deposit log. Obviously, your credit card is what is under your credit card for the day. Your cash is just your 2 deposits added up, and that's what that is, and you hit OK. Now, Some of you may not do this, but if there is a fast cash, what a fast cash is, it's not a refund, it's not a manager void, yada yada. It's if someone accidentally cashed out an order and they hit like the 10 or the 20 and the people paid with a card. You want to print that receipt out and write fast cash on it and keep it in your drawer. Staple that to the front of your cash sheet for the day, and you want to enter that in the next day, under daily entry, overrings, and then you're going to create an overing, whatever shift it was, cashier it was, station number, and then the amount. So say there was a fast cash for $2.07, which is the price of a medium coffee. If your medium coffee is not $2.07, that's something else that we're going to fix, because I am understanding that a lot of people are not at the same prices. So we will fix that at another time. But you write in whatever the total amount was for fast cash, and then you just hit create. What that does is it eliminates any shortages that you may have had for the day, and it just makes your cash come in line a little bit easier. Okay, so this is on Monday. Again, that's last 2 Mondays ago. This is where you can tell what you're short for the day. This just tells you like pretty much everything. So we're going to change this back to weekly so we can do our numbers based off this. Now, change it back to the 5th. That's what we're looking at. Okay, remember, drop this down. This tells you all your TIM cards for the week, tells you all your credit cards for the week. Now, the reason we enter everything under Visa is because it just makes it easier for us at the end of the week. If you are checking all your credit card slips daily to make sure that their math was correct, then this should be the correct total. If not, if it's not correct when you go to add up all your credit cards at the end of the week, then you have an issue somewhere and you should be going back daily and checking where you are. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is find out our adjusted gross. Now, you are not using what it says here for adjusted gross. To find your adjusted gross, you're gonna add your net sales. So my net sales for that week were $26,380.07. You add in your TIM card load plus $608.76, and then you add in your discount. So I have been adding in my free discount and my police discount. This, I don't know what that is. Someone clicked that on accident, so that's an issue I'll take care of. I didn't realize. I just add in this number, so 66109, to get my adjusted gross. So I'm then going to plug that in under here. Okay, your sales percent over last year, how you find that, you go into reports, you go into financial, and you go to executive summary. Now I have access to everyone, so you want to make sure that this says weekly and it's on the correct week ending that you're doing the paperwork for. The comparison type is going to be like week last year, and then you just click go. And now this tells you, and you are looking at adjusted gross, what you were under percent wise over last year. So this 2.83 is what I'm going to write in under negative 2.83. Your transactions plus or minus over last year, you find that right here. So this is transactions last year, this is transaction, or I'm sorry, this is transactions this year, this is transactions last year, this is what I was minus. So I'm going to put in that. Okay, your food percent. Okay, once your counts are closed out, now to do your counts, obviously you should all know how to do that. You want to make sure that these are closed out before you do anything. So the 5th, make sure they're closed. You go into, I may do this a little bit different than everyone else because I write everything down so that way I have it. So my theoretical for 23 TIMs, full inventory, you select your period, make sure you're on the correct week that you're displaying, hit display. go to category cost. Now my food, theoretical, and again, this is for last week's paperwork, so I'm just gonna write down actual, theoretical, food, paper. Okay, so my theoretical for paper is the 5169.7. Paper theoretical, we don't necessarily look at, but you want to look at it for your reference. Okay. And then to do actual, you just drop down inventory reports. Actual should already be on the week that you are looking at, but just double check to make sure. Hit category cost. Okay, so you're looking at the cost of goods sold. So mine is 5806.26, and then my paper is 1051.90. Okay, and then this is where you can also find your closing inventory values. So this is what you're gonna plug in. 790, I'm just gonna write it down so I don't have to keep coming back. This is what you're going to put in food on hand. So it was 8790.20. Paper on hand was 2274.77. Then your food. To find out your food and beverage actual, that's like a Wendy's thing. It's just our food percentage. You are going to take your actual number, which was my 5806.26, and you divide this by your adjusted gross. Okay, and that's how you get your food. So obviously to do a percent, you move the decimal over 2 places. So my food was 20.99. Now obviously, if you can see, my budget was a 24.7, so it's gonna show me that I'm that much underneath my budget. Okay, your food variance, what you do for this, you take your actual, so the 5806.26, and then you subtract your theoretical from that. And then this is what I got. Okay, now this is actually to your waste for the week. So $636.56 for the week, which is pretty amazing. You want to keep that number low because obviously that's what you're wasting for the week. If that number is high, you know that you should either A, cut down the initial bake, or B, you're way over baking product and you need to fix something somewhere. Okay, so we're going to take this number, which again is your waste, and we are going to divide that again by your adjusted gross. And then we got that number. Move the decimal over 2 places, we're at a 2.3. Obviously it says your budget is a 1% variance. I believe we've always gone 1.5, so I'm assuming that's like a Wendy's thing again. Paper cost, okay, to find that percent, you're gonna take your actual paper, and again, you're going to divide that by your adjusted gross. Everything you will ever need to figure out is divided by your adjusted gross. So that, again, is a 3.8. And my budget, as you can see, was a 3.85. So I made that by a tiny variance. Okay, labor. For labor, remember you guys have to go every single day to make sure that your time cards are, A, they all have 30-minute breaks. That is gonna drastically improve your labor if you do not have that. You want to check for if they haven't clocked out and they're being paid for like a 12-hour shift. If they didn't actually work a 12-hour shift, you want to make sure that that is changed, so that way you're not paying them for something that they didn't actually work. So make sure you're doing this every single day. Okay, to find your labor, you're going to go up to cash sheet. You're going to go to labor. You're going to change this to weekly. Again, we're going to our week ending January 5th because I'm doing this for the last week. And this is for Chesterfield, so yours is going to look a little bit different. Okay, as you can see, I have 0 overtime hours. If you guys do not have 0 overtime hours, you want to make sure that your getting close to that, because overtime is obviously time and a half. That drives up your labor a lot. So you want to make sure everyone's taking breaks, everyone's out on time, everyone punches in on time. You're scheduling to your have needs, so that way you don't have to do overtime. If you are running an extreme amount of overtime, obviously you know that you need to hire people. Okay, but to find your labor percent, we're gonna come back here. This is your total amount for employees. So we're gonna take the 5909. You add in your manager dollars. Obviously, you all have a different manager dollar. If you do not know what your manager dollar is, you need to let me know right away and I can figure it out for you very, very quick. What that is your salary that you are currently getting. You are going to divide that by 52. There's 52 weeks in a month. And that is what, let me see if that is what your labor for the week is. So mine is obviously going to be different than your guys's. So I'm going to take what it said, my total employee. I'm going to add in what I was putting in, or what my manager dollars were, and that would be my labor cost. So you get that number. Again, that is the 5909, your employee, plus whatever you're making for your manager dollars. You get that total, and once you get that total, again, you divide that by your adjusted gross to get a percentage. Now, obviously, my labor was super high last week. That's a no bueno. We are 2.16 over in labor. That's how you can check that. Obviously, you know, if your labor is crap, you need to know how to kind of control that. Now cash, this is just plus or minus for the week, which you can find once you verify all your slips, and then you know you have your like plus or minus. If everything is entered incorrectly, this should be giving you the correct total. Cash sheet summary, weekly, and then parentheses means I was short, -764. Okay, now supplies. These are found on your 2 truck orders for the week. I do not have mine from last week, so I'm kind of just going to show you what I have for this week. Okay, your supplies is 70/30. So I'm just going to add in both 70/30s. Okay, and then I'm going to plug that in there. Again, if you want to find out where you are for your budget that you were given, as you know, there is a supply budget on here. Mine's pretty high because this is what you ran last January. You can take this dollar amount and divide it again by your adjusted gross, and you can get a percentage of what you are running for the week. So mine is 0.49 for the quarter. You can find out what you're running for the week, and then as we fill these all out, it'll give you like a running total. So mine for the month was 714. Okay, cleaning, that is your 70/40 on your truck orders. So I'm just gonna add in both of those, which that is extreme, but if you have the combi ovens, you know that one of those cleaners is $113, which is insane. So this is $349.43. Put that in there. Uniforms, I have 0. Office, now this is like if you do a paid out for tape or pens, or if you went out and bought computer paper, yada yada. It's office supplies. And again, you have a budget listed on your budget sheet for office supplies as well. Okay, I'm gonna put that back. Okay, your average check you can find on your weekly under your cash summary. This is average sale. So there it is right there. It's the $4.88. So we're gonna put that in there. Coupon discount, that is your entire coupon discount total, which will be shown right there. So I'm gonna put again, this is under the deductions under your weekly summary, and it is just that grand total that is down there. I'm gonna put the $14.99. I don't know exactly what it was, but you guys get the point. Employee meals. Employee meals are extremely important. My employee meals were $52.76. I know more people than $52 probably ate meals. You want to keep an eye on that. Same thing with manager meals. $154.96 for my manager meals. You want to make sure that everyone is ringing in their food, especially managers. Those are free. There should be no reason why they shouldn't be ringing in their meals. Employees, if you catch someone leaving without paying for something, make sure you say something. But I always make people pay for stuff before they actually take it, because then it depletes the thought of them, oh, well, you know, I forgot. So no, we don't do that. To find your voids for the week, you're going to take this canceled item total, 1184.51, and again, you divide that by your adjusted gross. Adjusted gross is everything, so you want to make sure that you are adding that correctly. So mine was 4.28. Okay, before we do timers and before we do the percentage for your videos, I'm going to show you how to find out your top 3 food cost items. Okay, we're gonna go up into inventory. We're gonna go to reports. And then we are gonna go to variance report with waste. Make sure that it is the correct week that you are looking for. And then you're gonna go over to where it says top 20. Now you're gonna put in your top 3 food items that were wasted for the week. You can abbreviate it, you can do whatever you want to make it fit, but you put in your top 3 food items for the week, and then you put the money amount corresponding next to it. So cream, $62.54. So I'm just gonna write that in there. Okay, and then you do that for item number 2 and number 3. Okay, so to find your timers and such, I'm gonna go into my tab, log in. Now I'm hoping that you all have access to do this. If not, I need you to let me know ASAP so that way I can get you access to it, and get you access to it, and that way you can start doing so. Sorry, I just changed my password because I don't want people looking at all this stuff. Okay, once you are on this main page, obviously you guys are only gonna have your store that shows up. I'm not gonna show you what store showed up because it's none of your business. So I have been looking at this score. Honestly, I have no clue which one it is. Since they've changed this new tab, I do not know which percentage I'm supposed to be looking at for my store of what's complete. If you are not above a 90 on any of these that are shown, I suggest that you get there ASAP. Your PTS score needs to be above a 90 to even get the training point on your rev. If anyone in your store is working during the time of your inspection and they have not done hand washing videos yet, and they are a employee that has been there for longer than 30 days, it will be an automatic critical. Okay. How to also check for people that need videos. Let's see here. I go to the Learning Center overview, and this is where you can check per section who has what to do. So this is how I check and let people know that they have videos to do and they need to get them done ASAP. Again, you'll want to make sure that this is above 90. And that just answered my question, because that right there says my overall score. How I found that, again, I went into reports, learning center overview, and then it gave me an overall completion score. So this percent is what you would put in under your crew we learn. That is not my store, so I'm not going to put that, but that is how you check it. Again, reports, learning center tells you a percentage. This needs to be above a 90 at all times. Okay, so to find out your timers, we're going to go into more. We're going to go into AF reporting. Once this brings it up, go up into drive-through and then click drive-through. Okay, I'm going to show you my timers. Okay, so for last week, you can find your, sorry if I'm shaky, your morning average here, and you can find your afternoon average here. What you do, I like to track both morning and afternoon per week to see like what we did good on, how much we were faster, how much we were slower, yada yada. I have everything written down here, and I do that every single week. So for my AM timers, we actually came down 5 seconds, which as you can see, they were already amazing. But I mean, a huge improvement either way. PM timers, they came down almost 18 seconds, so that was huge. You take those two totals. So we take the 65, 95, and the 109.41 to get that number, and you divide it by 2 to get your overall timer. And that's pretty much all you do. Make sure when you guys are in your, oops. Okay, let's log back into Clearview. That you're sending your TDL sales. That is really important. I usually send my sales right before I close out my accounts, my counts, so that way that it's done, over with. Banking information, I showed you guys that. Fast cash, you're gonna wanna make sure, if you aren't doing so already, that if someone cashes through an order, you reprint the receipt, write fast cash, and make sure it gets in your drawer. Then staple that onto your cash sheet so you have verification that it was a fast cash and it wasn't just someone entering in an overing and it wasn't correct, or they're just lying and taking the money. Time cards, make sure you're checking that every single day. You want to make sure that everyone has 30-minute breaks, everyone's punched in, they're punched out at the times that they should be. With your deposit logs, you need to have the cash sheet summary for the week. Drop down this actual deposit, print this. Deductions, print this, staple the two together. That should go with your deposit log. You should have all your credit card slips with this. You should have all your TIM card slips, and you should have all your deposit slips with this. Deposit slips, make sure you're going through each and every single day, verifying that this total is what you're getting on your deposit slip back from the bank. Once you're verified, whoever got them back from the bank should be signing that they're verified. That way, if you're doing your Monday paperwork, it's not correct, you can go back and look and say, okay, well, you verified this, so this one was $5 off. Why didn't we change that? Make sure it's changed in the computer if you needed to change it. That's pretty much Monday paperwork. Obviously, as I'm working with you guys, I can show you more ways to kind of control your paper, control your food, control your labor. Number one thing to control labor, obviously, is having them take breaks, punching in when they should be, punching out when they should be. Food, not over ordering, not over baking, not overly wasting product every single day. Paper, that's pretty much the same thing. Not over ordering, not a lot on your shelves. If you're stuffing your bags, which I always do, making sure that you're only putting 1-2 tops napkins in there when you're handing out napkins with food. Same thing, 1-2 tops, obviously, unless they ask for more. If they drop a whole stack of bags on the floor, don't throw the entire thing out. Same thing with rags. If you spill creamer and you see someone throwing 20 rags on there, making sure that they're not throwing those all out. For one, they shouldn't be using the rags. 2, it's just a huge waste. It's something small. It's something that they just shouldn't be doing. One thing I will say that Brian is really big on, and it is in your videos also, that sleeves do not come on every single drink. The only drink that sleeves come on is hot teas, and that is required. Do not ask people if they want sleeves. Do not put them on automatically. Do not put them on black coffees. Do not put them on your cappuccinos. Nothing. Unless a customer requests a sleeve, do not put them on the cup. It's just something that, for one, is in your videos. 2, that is one of Brian's biggest thing. Also, if someone asks for cream and sugar on the side, don't hand them 17 cream on the side. Don't hand them 6 sugar on the side. Ask them how many they would like. Give them an exact amount. It's just something that he's really big on. It's something that'll help your food costs, and it's something that'll help the customers to kind of help us with their order, so you're not pulling teeth to try to get what they want out of their order. If you guys have any questions, obviously throughout the next few weeks, I will be visiting all of you. Hopefully this helps you with your Monday paperwork. Revert back to this if you need, but this is everything that you need to know for your Monday paperwork. One thing I did forget, when your counts are closed out for the week, you click on your count, value report by category, you print this page, and you staple that page to your 2 truck orders for the week. That's what gets turned in. For payroll, again, starting this payroll, everything is automatically pulled from Clearview into Paycor. So the only thing that Rachel needs is your 2-week time card summary. So obviously go into labor reports, click on your store, produce report. She wants them, well, I don't know if she does, but Tina wanted them in alphabetical order. You just click on name, and it makes everything in alphabetical order. You print this out, and this is what they need. So this is what I have been taking a picture of and sending to Rachel by 11 a.m. Monday mornings on the payroll morning. But again, you want to make sure that everything is absolutely correct. You're not paying someone for a 12-hour shift they didn't work. You're not paying someone for or you're not paying someone for not clocking in 3 hours late or 3 hours early or whatever. You just want to make sure that you're checking those every single day. All right, that's pretty much it.